would like to just speak briefly. And I'll reference a woman who lived in New Jersey, who lived in Bergen County, who actually lived in Tenafly, up in my neck of the woods. And maybe some of you have heard her name before, and you would if you walked around this capitol, because she is commemorated in a sculpture located in the rotunda of this building. And I'm talking about Elizabeth Cady Stanton. She was a suffragette. She was a women's rights activist. She was someone who fought long and hard to ensure the equality of women before the law in this country. And also she fought for the important issue of the sanctity of life. Way back over 100 years ago in 1873, she wrote a letter. She wrote a letter to Julia Ward Howe, a prominent abolitionist at the time and also a suffragette. And in it she wrote the following. She said, "When we consider that women are treated today as property, it is degrading to women that we should treat our own children as property to be disposed of as we see fit." Unquote. So she classified abortion as a form of infanticide. Today, Mrs. Stanton, I believe, would be horrified, I believe she would be disgusted, as my colleagues are as well, that millions of other Americans are watching going on in Philadelphia right now. Kermit Gosnell is on trial in that city, on a city that gave birth to America, on a city that gave birth to the Declaration of Independence, a city that gave birth to the idea, the promise of life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. He's there on trial for the callous murder of 8 Americans. 1 woman, she who died from a botched abortion, and 7 innocent, defenseless children who were born alive and healthy, but then were killed by that abortionist. These are only the murders that Gosnell is being charged with. His clinic, is recorded, has carried out literally hundreds, thousands of abortions over the years, using the doctor's own gruesome techniques on children who are often over the Pennsylvania legal limit of 24 weeks. Now, as was pointed out, news reports on the trial are non-existent. Reports of testimony in the grand jury are basically non-existent in the media. But if you dig down and you try and you get a copy of the grand jury's report, you see what we're talking about and how gruesome it is. According to the grand jury's report, quote, Gosnell had a simple solution. This is from the grand jury's report. Gosnell had a simple solution for unwanted babies. He killed them. He didn't call it that. He called it, quote, ensuring fetal demise. He called it then snipping, end quote. Over the years, there were literally hundreds of snippings. This we find from the grand jury's report. Snipping, this is not a medical procedure. This is murder, and we should call it for what it is. Where then is the protection for life? Where then is the protection for liberty? Where is the protection of the pursuit of happiness? Where is the outrage of what is going on there? Where is the outrage that nothing of this is being reported in any of the major newspapers across this country, on any of the major radio stations, on any of the major TV or cable channels across this country? You would have to dig, as I did, to find it in the back pages. The media and the pro-abortion movement are more concerned about things like Rush Limbaugh's comments on contraception or ensuring that girls under 18 kids have easy access to the morning after pill than they are with this trial, or the gruesome acts in the trial, they allege, of Dr. Gosnell, or for the 1.2 million unborn Americans who die in America every year. So, Mr. Speaker, I join the rest of my colleagues tonight in expressing my disgust with this case, and the failure also, the disgust also with the media and the to cover this actions. Every child is precious. Every child is a gift. We must continue, then, this fight to protect this most fundamental right for the unborn, and each of us, the right to life. And we must also make sure that when it is destroyed, that it is exposed.